Welcome, everybody, to our coverage of the 2021 PDGA Amateur Disc Golf World Championships in Orlando, Florida, powered by Dynamic Discs and Latitude 64. You are watching MA1 Lead Card Round 4 Front 9 action, brought to you by us here at B-Dub Pro. Today's commentary is provided by myself, Cameron Makiling, and my good buddy who you see on the screen here, Grant Zellner of the PDGA. And here we are at hole 1 here at Palmetto Point Park, 267-foot par 3. Very open for this first hole.
And that's certainly unique for this course. That pin location, diabolical. This whole area off to the right is raised. It's where soccer fields are. So it's raised and flat. We're right on the corner of that raised area with a steep drop-off on three sides.
From Duncan, South Carolina, Evan Scott.
Up first, Evan Scott leading through 3 rounds.
Playing right down the length of this ridge to that pin location. He's throwing a mid-range. That's a buzz, and I've noticed it's one of the most trusted discs in his bag. He goes to it frequently.
Next on the tee, from Houston, Texas, Robert Burridge.
Second to tee off, and in second place, just 1 stroke behind Evan, is Robert Burridge from Houston, Texas.
Your
20 years old.
Yeah, and your U.S. amateur champion. He's been here before. Equally comfortable with the forehand and the backhand. Going with the forehand.
Oh, hello.
There's that ridge coming into play.
From Chattanooga, Tennessee, Aidan Scott.
Up third is Aidan Scott from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Just a stroke behind Robert, 2 strokes behind the lead. It is a tight race here, 4 rounds in.
Really comfortable throwing slower discs, Aidan is. Gets it up there on top of the plateau with a bit of a death putt. We're not saying that much here in Florida, but in this case, this is probably the biggest elevation factor we've had in 2 days of play.
Yeah, this is the most change from tee pad to basket we've seen, without a doubt. Ezra Hapner, Santa Cruz, California, 6 strokes off of the lead, but I think it sat down there, and he's going to be pretty much parked for his first drive. A little short there from Robert.
Gets it to settle, though. Aidan, no doubt thinking about the drop-off immediately behind that basket. So is Evan.
Yep, after playing on such flat courses, that has to be pretty intimidating to walk up to.
Well, I mean, look at this. You've got Ezra basically parked, practically bullseyed, and look how many steps up he had to take to retrieve his disc after just a 12-foot putt?
Right.
I mean, seriously steep drop-off there. Probably more than the camera gives it credit for.
Ezra with a solo bird on the first hole and a couple pars for the rest of the card as we head over into the woods on hole 2, a 561-foot par 4.
Once more into the breach, dear friends. Now we go into what the green gauntlet is known for. Of note, the tee pad is up still on that platform, that plateau there that we were just discussing. Your head is roughly even with the canopy of trees as you tee off.
Yeah, you're almost throwing down into the tunnel.
Oh, no.
Early tree there for Ezra.
By the way, the creek that they're trying to clear here early in their drive is casual, interestingly enough. No penalty stroke. if you wind up in or about the creek. Evan throwing the same disc as he did on hole number 1, even though this is a dramatically different situation. It just shows the comfort factor of that disc for him.
Robert hangs down along the right side and gets a late tree, but a very fortunate ground play into the middle of the fairway there for him. You see that basket is tucked quite a bit down the fairway still from where Robert landed, though. Tough early tree for Aidan.
Yeah, Aidan
has to throw into the woods still on his second throw. Wasn't quite in there yet.
Yeah, he was over in the creek actually and was able to take relief from the casual water.
Wow, that was not what I wanted to do.
Staying on the bark side of the fairway is definitely 100% a must here. 'Cause you see how closed off you get just 3 or 4 feet in there. And that specific spot's not terrible.
Right.
But left or right into those trees, and you pretty much are forced to pitch back out.
I think it was Muhammad Ali maybe who first coined the phrase, everybody's got a plan until you get hit. It's either Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson, one of the big boxing heroes. Everyone's got a plan off of some of these holes until you see where that first shot ended up. And then your plan might have to change dramatically just to save par. And these guys experiencing that already.
Yeah, quite a wake-up call. Oh, great par putt from Aidan Scott.
52 feet away.
We're going to see that again on this slow-mo.
Buries it.
Barely misses that first tree there. Fantastic. I was going to say, this hole is kind of a wake-up call after such an easy first one.
Yeah, it really is. That first hole, pretty dramatically different from the majority of holes here at Palmetto Point.
And we're moving along to hole 3, 474-foot par 4. You got like kind of a split here. You can see we're flying down the right side, but there is kind of a gap down there to the left as well.
Yeah, sure, it's a little bit difficult to see, even from something flying so nearly by, but there is a second legitimate fairway that comes up the left right there. Looks from the tee like you've got a solid wall of trees lining the left of the fairway, but you don't.
Wow, fantastic ground play there.
Really incredibly placed.
Ooh,
Evan off the tee, a little tight, but you know, everybody, when you're a little tight off the tee here, you'll notice the guys don't really react to it like you might expect, because they know that's not a solid wall of trees like it looks from the tee. They know there's another fairway over there.
Give him a skip.
Wow, another excellent skipping shot. The ground here is quite different than what we were seeing at Turkey Lake. Not nearly as much sand, a lot more like dead foliage.
Yeah, a lot of ground play.
Oh, late tree there. Gonna buy himself a putt though.
Sort of a little island of trees, for lack of a better description, just there about 45 to 50 feet in front of the basket. And here you see Robert, he wants no part of that. That was a completely runnable putt, but he didn't want to go through there, not this early in the tournament. However, Aidan,
big putt from Aidan for a
44
bird.
feet away, buries it.
Ooh, just a little bit left there for Ezra. Evan able to take his first birdie of the round. And a birdie from Robert. Going to keep things tied up between him and Evan. Oh.
Ezra just, you know, that seems to happen to me and just about everyone I know at least once around. You have that one shorter putt that you just don't quite get enough chain on. Hopefully that was Ezra's only situation for this round.
Hole 4, 483-foot par 4. This one kind of works its way to the right here at the beginning and then feels like it opens up a little bit, but there's a lot of trees in the middle of the fairway up here.
Yeah, really narrow fairway all the way down. Demands an Anheuser off the tee. I suppose you could throw the forehand if you want to, and I don't know that we're going to see one because of the way a forehand's going to finish. You've got to be penetrating forward after that initial right turn.
Yeah, nice, smooth, sweeping S turn there. Hits the ground a little early, but that's some good ground play.
Yeah, just a placement shot for these guys. Most of these par 4s, regardless of the distance of the overall hole, really not reachable in one.
Right.
You know, even if the total yardage says it should be reachable, it's probably not.
Yeah, there is no option to go up and over, kind of like some of the holes we saw yesterday. This one is definitely in the jungle. Ooh, really fortunate tree kick there for Aidan.
Robert can really throw the disc hard.
Makes it look so effortless.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was looking good until that hit the side of the tree there.
Still not a terrible finish. I think Evan clipped a branch or something there with that forehand.
Oh, Aidan running it from range. Just a little low.
Robert flashing right in front of the basket there.
Tickles the chains. Ezra looking to make up those 2 bogeys he's already taken. A tough par 4 for how short it is.
Mm-hmm. But a par frame nonetheless for our foursome at the top of MA1.
Lead card makes it through unscathed, and we are heading on to hole 5, a 354-foot par 4.
354-foot par 4.
Yeah,
That is a short par 4, but look at this.
very short par 4.
There is no doubt about why they call this course the Green Gauntlet.
Very picturesque basket placement on this one. I like opens up and it's framed very nicely. Going right over my head. Almost hitting Conrad, the one of the PDGA's photographers for the week here.
On a par 4, he is
That's why he didn't
inside circle 2. He'll have a relatively close jump putt. Evan with that same disc that he threw off the tee on both hole number 1 and hole number 2. It's that disc he's very, very comfortable with, that mid-range.
Aidan following Robert's line there.
Mm-hmm.
Gets right through those little pencil trees.
This is another one of those holes that has a bit of a second fairway.
Mm-hmm.
And Ezra knew that and was going for that fairway right off the tee.
Oh,
Hard, dude.
Evan, second shot off a tree, third shot, not much to work with. Now he's outside circle 1 for his par putt.
Nice little forehand there. Going to buy him a par save.
Aidan.
Ooh, for eagle.
He actually drew metal there.
Off the top of the
And
cage.
Robert
What a
for
bid.
eagle draws metal.
Excellent par save from Evan.
Big putt from Evan.
For hours just playing disc golf, having fun.
That's like one of the first things we usually say. It's a great family sport.
We got to do it as a family.
And it builds relationship. Like, I know my dad so much better because of disc golf.
It's nice that that's something that we can connect and go do together.
My parents are 100% behind it. Bad rounds, good rounds, doesn't matter. They always have a smile on their face.
We don't call it sacrifice, we call it fun.
Get out there and have fun. At the end of the day, most important is have fun.
And we are back from commercial break at hole 6, a 198-foot par 3. Short hole.
Bends sharply to the right. The tee box, as you'll notice, is pointing in one direction. We'll call that 12 o'clock. The hole location is at what would be 2 o'clock.
Right.
If you could see it off the tee, which you can't.
And even if you could, there are so many little trees between you and there. You just gotta poke and pray.
Oh, off the cage.
Great throw. Or backhand.
Really? Like last available?
Ooh.
Yeah, different strategies there. Rob went with a really sharp driver going for the skip, and then Aidan with something slow and soft. Meanwhile,
Evan throwing a Luna.
Evan throwing his putter. And that's his putting putter
Right.
off the tee.
Ooh, not enough Anheuser there on that release for Ezra, but a good forehand pitch up. Gonna buy him.
Nicely around the outside for Ezra there.
Nice easy putt there.
Aidan left himself just a little too much work.
Great par save from Ezra. And Aidan as well. A par is not terrible here if you don't absolutely nail that first drive.
Mm-hmm. Feels weird to say that on a hole that's just 198 feet,
Right.
but that's the nature of this course.
Couple of birdies. And we're off to hole 7, 399-foot par 4. This one is deceivingly open looking off the tee pad.
On that last hole, I talked about how from the tee, the hole was at 2 o'clock. Well, on this particular hole, from the tee, the hole is at 10 o'clock.
Right. The exact opposite.
It's almost a 90-degree angle that this fairway bends at somewhere around 225 feet.
And the first artificially elevated basket I think we've seen of the tournament.
All week,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Might be the only one we will see all week long.
Nice smooth.
Putter off the tee there. Fully placement. Such a sharp angle and then so much distance after the angle. There's just not much hope even of flare skipping anything close.
Right. Yeah, you just got to lay up to this nice grassy patch here so that you can have a clean shot back into the woods.
I ain't even trying to go any left.
Aidan nicely through the gap. Ezra. Ezra sponsored by PDGA, interestingly enough. He's got a lot of discs in his bag that many aren't going to be as familiar with.
I was going to say, I don't typically, you
Woo!
see a lot of Innova and Discraft sponsors with these younger guys. I don't run into too many DGA guys out in the wild. So, yeah, interesting. I see a lot of interesting distros. I hear him name a lot of discs that I'm not familiar with, even in the slightest.
And now all 4 of these guys just trying not to mess this up.
Oh, wow. Look at that flare. That was great. Robert is so good at those ones where he gets that really low power stance on his little forehand approaches, and he uses it at the mid range also a little bit there, but so confident in his wide base. Excellent birdie there.
Putting upward for the first and only time in this entire championship.
Pair of birdies. Evan keeping it within 1. Great birdie from Ezra.
It's where experience helps. Maybe you haven't putted on an elevated basket this week, but you have before.
Right. At least I would hope so if you're competing at this level. Hole 8, very short, 177-foot par 3. The basket is up here to the right and up on top of this little hill. Well, the opposite corner is hole 1.
Yep, that's right. OB all the way down the fairway on the left. You'll notice the white flags. OB not a major factor on the vast majority of holes we'll see this week, but it's definitely there right now.
Robert running it past the basket and onto the hillside.
I'm like on top. I'm just
gonna have to come up at it.
This hole really similar to hole number 6, except hole number 6 was a really tight ante from open into a tight green situation. This is the opposite. You're in a tight situation, throw the ante out into the open.
Evan put himself at the bottom of the little hill there, looking at maybe
about a 40-footer.
40-footer.
Pace that off.
Clean set of drives from the card there.
Evan
nice uphill.
Steps through nicely.
We're going to check this out again on this slow-mo. Fantastic. Not bothered by the elevation whatsoever. Going to make it 3 in a row there for Evan.
You can really see how significant the elevation was by watching him run up to retrieve his disc.
Oh, right side.
Everybody else in.
Tying it back up, Evan and Robert.
Here we go.
Hole 9, the last hole of our front 9 coverage here. 489-foot par 4, and we're headed right back into the woods.
We sure are.
This one is turning to the right. You can see these people getting their practice round and a little frightened by the drone. But
I can tell you right now, a drone sounds surprisingly like a group of mosquitoes.
Or a swarm of bees is what I always think of.
Here in Florida, all 3 possible over your shoulder. A drone, mosquitoes, or bees.
Very clean forehand. Finds a open space on the fairway down there. As we're going putter off the tee here.
Yep, everyone thinking placement on these shots. You want to place the shot where your next angle or situation gives you a chance.
Robert going with a little faster of a disc and gets caught up by an early tree there.
Yeah, again, Robert seems most comfortable throwing hard. So he will strategize his disc selection, his line choice. He'll strategize based on what allows him to throw hard and yet still get a safe result.
Oh, early tree. Right out of the hand. Not a terrible lie, though.
Again, wanted to throw hard, did. He'll have to take the result of that, but he still made his decision based on throwing hard, and he's comfortable living with what happens.
I think it's really funny. The cicadas picked up right as he started to throw, and when his disc hit the ground, they stopped making noise immediately.
Yeah. Maybe they thought it was a big, round cicada.
They must have.
Evan, just pure.
Butter. Right up into the basket. Ooh. Tough kick there for Aidan. Nice little forehand approach there. All of these young men are very comfortable forehand or backhand.
They really
are. It does
are.
not seem like any of them are very... They are not, I know a lot of amateur players, at least when I'm playing with my buddies or anyone I'm playing tournament rounds with, everyone seems to have a preference. You know, forehand, backhand. That's what takes these kids to the next level is they can do either one at will. Yeah,
and I think it has to do with this era. I think these guys grew up throwing both ways. My era, guys grew up kind of throwing one or the other. And the era before me, we're talking back in like the Ken Climo kind of days, they all threw almost exclusively backhand only.
Right.
So it's just a new era.
Taking a look at the scorecard from the front nine, you can see Evan and Robert both 5 under. Evan staying 1 stroke ahead there. Aidan at 3 under par, and Ezra, a couple bogeys, going to keep him at just 1 under par, but 3 birdies on there for Ezra. Not a bad showing in the front nine here from the lead card. Make sure to follow us at PDGA on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you are not already a member, head to pdga.com and sign up for your official membership. And you can also find us guys here at BDub Pro at BDub Pro on Facebook and Instagram. Make sure to like any of our videos on our YouTube channel and hit subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming content. And we will see everybody in the back nine.